Watch 12 at 5, Senator Ron Johnson is looking to change Medicare and Social Security benefits. What he had to say about the benefits and his thoughts on the retirement age. Plus, Governor Tony Evers is pouring money into infrastructure in Park Falls, the investment being made and how it will keep the city's drinking water safe. And a fun event is getting residents to shop local. How Ridiculous Day is helping the economy. We'll have the details as your local news starts right now.
Your local news and weather from where you live. Newswatch 12 at 5 starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch 12 at 5. I'm Jessica Jukich. We're learning new details on the deadly home explosion in Crescent. The Oneida County Sheriff says 34-year-old Jared Hugh was killed in a garage explosion Monday night. Authorities say the explosion happened when Hugh was making fireworks inside his garage. The Sheriff's Office says none of the ingredients at Hugh's home was illegal and his actions were also legal. They're ruling the explosion accidental. Each year, businesses in Rhinelander hold Ridiculous Day, where deals can be found on all types of merchandise. Rhinelander's Brown Street in downtown was packed with shoppers looking to get some of those good deals. Business owner Zach Hetz of Magic Man Games says the day of ridiculous sales is a good way to get people to shop locally.
It's nice to see a lot of foot traffic. It gets the community involved. Also gets more visibility for us as the business owners. It's one where we get to kind of show and showcase what we are, what we do, what we've got, and allow people to see, what our business is like.
Magic Man Games moved to downtown earlier this year. Other business owners agree that the one-day event draws people to businesses which fly under the radar.
So you're going to find probably the best deals today, but maybe not. There's always great things in these downtown businesses and a lot of really interesting, good people and great stuff.
Even though today's deals are now over, they would both say that even without Ridiculous Day, there's plenty of other reasons to shop at locally owned stores in Rhinelander all year round. The event was put on by the Rhinelander Area Chamber of Commerce. It was a warm day throughout the Northwoods. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller joins us. Jeff, how long will this beautiful weather last?
Yeah, temperatures back up in the 80s today. Tomorrow, same story, but it won't be as warm as today with temperatures back near 80. But right now, plenty of sunshine currently in Rhinelander with temperatures hanging out in the mid to even upper 80s across the area. But your eye is going to go over here. Those are 70s. That is moving our direction for tomorrow. In fact, much of tomorrow spent in the 70s and way less humid around here. Dew points are dropping rather quickly now in the 50s currently. They were in the 70s throughout much of the day yesterday, making for a very humid day yesterday. Okay, so here we go. So lots of clear skies out there now. There's a little instability to the north of us. That should stay there. We are in good shape tonight and tomorrow, and really for Friday. Our next chance for rain showers gets in here later on Saturday afternoon. Until then, though, nothing but clear skies for us tonight. Get out there and enjoy it if you can. Our forecast then tonight, though, is mostly clear skies with temperatures much cooler, near 53. Your full forecast is coming up. Jessica?
Thank you, Jeff. Senator Ron Johnson believes Medicare and Social Security should be subjected to annual budget debate. It's a move that could upend guaranteed benefits to millions of Americans that rely on it. Yesterday in a radio interview, Johnson was asked about the PACT Act and a controversy over discretionary versus mandatory spending. Johnson says he seeks to turn everything in the federal budget into discretionary spending, including Social Security and Medicare, so that programs can actually be evaluated and fixed. Johnson says, quote, as long as things are on the automatic pilot, we just continue to pile up debt, mortgage our kids' future, and this massive debt burden combined with the massive deficit spending that sparked this inflation that's wiping out people's wage gains, making it impossible for them to make ends meet. Last year, Johnson called Social Security a, quote, Ponzi scheme and called for a raise in the retirement age for people to be eligible for benefits. Former Vice President Mike Pence is supporting Rebecca Kleefisch for governor. Today, Pence campaigned in Wisconsin calling Kleefisch a, quote, proven conservative. Kleefisch is facing off against opponent Tim Michels, who is endorsed by former President Trump. If elected, she's calling for hiring 1,000 more police officers, instituting minimum bail amounts for violent crimes, and adding more police to schools. Governor Tony Evers announced today a $3.75 million investment for infrastructure fixes to support water conservation efforts and safe drinking water for the city of Park Falls. The investment will help address the utility's rising operating costs. The water utility has faced a significant shift in demand following the closure of the local paper mill. The grant will help the city install a new water main, make water tower improvements, and other infrastructure fixes meant to save water, prevent freezing water lines in the winter months, and ensure reliable water services for the city's residents. The grant is funded through the American Rescue Plan Act. Lac du Flambeau is a tribal community of less than 2,000 people. In turn, it doesn't have a lot of businesses. But as Newswatch 12's Morgan Johnson tells us, there's one more establishment downtown.
We're probably going to take this out.
Coffee, boba, and ice cream. Paula Freilich assumes everyone likes at least one of those.
Every day we bring something new.
Freilich is a tribal member in Lac du Flambeau. She cares about the community so much that she took on the challenge of opening a small business to give the area a boost.
The stars kind of aligned for me. I was able to get this beautiful location, and it's just a great opportunity to start bringing back businesses and revitalize Lac du Flambeau.
On June 28th, Freilich opened Blend and Brew on Peace Pipe Road. Right away, she saw the void she was filling.
Our community is lacking in different retail and different things of this nature, so the community has been very supportive and excited to see something new come into the area.
Paula says she's heard a lot of customers say they used to have to travel for coffee. Customers like Jessica, who now can get coffee right in town.
Used to have to get up early to get coffee. So now that it's 2 minutes down the road, I don't have to get up as early to get coffee in the morning.
Holton's new daily morning stop is at Blend and Brew, which gives Freilich the business she's hoping for.
I would like to be here for a long time, and years to come, someone say, do you remember that little ice cream shop that we went to on vacation? And just to bring memories, just a really pleasant experience for everyone.
Reporting for Newswatch 12 in Lac du Flambeau, I'm Morgan Johnson.
Supply chain issues are impacting breweries across the U.S. Coming up on Newswatch 12, the reason it could be harder to find your favorite beer on shelves. That's after weather right here on Newswatch 12.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
I'm Ron Kine, and as my time in Congress winds down, I've been thinking about the best way to have a happy retirement. And so the first thing I'm going to do is vote for Brad Paff. No one will work harder than Brad to lower the cost of health care and prescription drugs. And he'll never let Republicans gut protections for pre-existing conditions.
I'm Brad Paff. I approve this message because whether you're in your prime or in your golden years,
Easy now.
I will always have your back.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
Follow the path through the beautiful gardens to the lakefront at Pirates Hideaway. Enjoy ice cream on the sky deck overlooking the Eagle River chain of lakes. In addition to offering cruises on the pirate ship, Pirates Hideaway has a full bar, outdoor yard games, wood fire pizzas, appetizers, and more. Enjoy relaxing summer evenings with live music on the beach. Pirates Hideaway in Eagle River. Stop by and experience one of the most unique lakeside family attractions in northern Wisconsin. Visit EagleRiverPirates.com for information.
It's Slumberland's anniversary sale, and to celebrate, we're stacking the deals. Buy any sofa or sectional and get 20% off your second purchase. Now for the stacking, get another 20% off both items.
20 plus another 20?
Yep, and there's more. Buy any recliner or accent chair and get 20% off your second purchase. And stack an additional 20% off both items.
Discounts? On top of discounts?
Plus, we are still offering great special financing at Slumberland Furniture.
High Point Sand and Gravel provides high-quality riprap, sand, and screened topsoil for almost any need. The high-quality rock and stone, boulders, and clear stone enhance the function and beauty of your home or business. Offering convenient delivery or pickup throughout northern Wisconsin and the UP, High Point Sand and Gravel provides premium landscaping materials, specializing in producing beautiful decorative stone for all types of landscaping projects. Contact High Point Sand and Gravel to help make your next project a dream come true.
All right, let's start here. This is where it's been dry. The darker colors are more severe. Of course, decades of drought across the west. For us, though, it's been a little dry. We're in level 1 across parts of north central Wisconsin. This does not include the rain we had last night, which for many of you was more than a half inch across north central Wisconsin, even getting close to 3 inches across parts of Lincoln County into Marathon County as well. In fact, here's what the rain gauge picked up overnight tonight, last night. Generally, the green colors are an inch or more. So again, widespread rain yesterday. We could use the rain, but now there's no more rain in the forecast for us basically until Saturday. Lots of clear skies out there right now. There is a little bit of something over to the west of us. That, though, will stay there. We are in a drying out phase this evening as cooler, drier air kind of floods into the region. Futurecast shows the story, right? So the clear skies overnight tonight, clear skies throughout the day tomorrow. It's going to be a gorgeous day tomorrow with less humidity across our region pretty much tomorrow and also for Friday before we get a couple more thunder showers in here on Saturday afternoon. So temperatures right now, you can see what's going on, right? There's a front coming across the area as we speak. 70s over here, mid 80s over here, though, even a couple 90s across parts of far southeastern parts of Wisconsin today. But these are going to go away pretty quickly now as the front kind of pushes through, and we are in a drying out phase and a cooling off phase with temperatures near 80 for highs tomorrow. If you could use some relief from the heat, I pulled the Lake Superior water temperatures, and still there are some 39-degree temperatures out here mid-lake. Don't go out there. It's cold out there. But overall in the bays here, water temperatures near 70 across parts of that area. Dew points, they're dropping. So this is a measure of how muggy it feels outside, how humid it feels. Yesterday was off the charts, right? Dew points in the 70s. Those are confined now to parts of the Green Bay area, which is where the front has not gone through yet. But behind that front, it dries out the air, and we have low humidity coming across our region tonight, making for much easier sleeping without air conditioning tonight. Tomorrow, 80, meaning much of tomorrow in the 70s, and right back up in the 80s for Friday and Saturday before falling back down Sunday and Monday. So overall, the average high being 79. We'll be close to that going forward. Our forecast then tonight, though, is mostly clear skies. There could be a little bit of dense fog after midnight with low temperatures very comfortable near 53. Open the windows up tonight with that northwest breeze around 5 to 10. For tomorrow, all right, it's Thursday already. Lots of sunshine, sunny and awesome tomorrow. High temperatures reaching for 80. We'll probably do it with a north breeze around 5 miles per hour. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress shows tomorrow a beautiful day. Same thing for Friday, a bit warmer Friday and a little bit more humid as well. And then Saturday. So Saturday, we have a chance for a few thunderstorms, not an all-day rain Saturday or Sunday, likely arriving mid-afternoon Saturday into Sunday morning. Cooler, though, Sunday. A front's going to come through Saturday night with a high of 75 on Sunday. And then really nice weather kind of floods in here Monday into Tuesday of next week. Jessica.
Thank you, Jeff. On Tuesday, Kansas voters chose to keep the right to an abortion in their state's constitution by voting no on a proposed constitutional amendment. In 2019, the Kansas Supreme Court ruled that the state constitution does protect abortion rights. A yes vote on the proposed amendment would have removed that right. The vote as of today is 58% voting no, 41% voting yes, with 95% of the votes totaled. This comes just weeks after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, which had guaranteed abortion rights under the U.S. Constitution for nearly 50 years. The vote to preserve abortion rights in Kansas, a red state, indicates that public support for reproductive rights remains high. The Senate has passed the PACT Act. After a week of unexpected hurdles, the Senate approved the legislation by a vote of 86 to 11. A final vote came after days of protest by veterans groups, their families, and comedian Jon Stewart outside the Capitol. The $280 billion package will provide expanded health care benefits for veterans exposed to burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan. The PACT Act has already cleared the House and now heads to President Biden's desk for his signature. OPEC is set to increase its daily production of oil by 100,000 barrels per day in September. President Biden met with OPEC leaders last month while in Saudi Arabia to discuss increasing production by a higher amount in hopes of lowering prices at the pump. However, no deal was announced at this time. at that time. The OPEC nations cut back on oil production during the pandemic due to a drastic drop in demand. Now as demand climbs and with U.S. and Western sanctions on Russia in place, energy prices are soaring. The increase is good news for the world market. However, some experts say such a small increase could be seen as insulting. 100,000 barrels is equal to about 86 seconds of world demand per day. We've heard it before, supply chain issues during the pandemic impacting your goods, and now it's hitting your brew. But it's not the hops or the barley in short supply, it's actually carbon dioxide. NBC's Carrie Sanders has more.
Beer taps running dry. Not yet, but
if there's going to be a beer shortage, it's going to be a problem.
The problem is to get those bubbles requires CO2. Much of the nation's carbon dioxide used in beer is shipped from Mississippi, where they encountered a recent contamination issue, causing shortages. And then a train line strike in the Midwest resulted in CO2 delivery problems.
A dozen or more breweries that are experiencing the same problem, and those are just the ones that I know of. It was as if a switch went off overnight.
At Tarpon River Brewing in Fort Lauderdale, they make up to 300 gallons of craft beer a day. That requires 80 pounds of CO2.
I'm showing about 200 PSI here, giving us another day or two. If we don't receive shipment by Thursday, we're out of luck.
The growing worry, this burp in the CO2 supply chain could slow the flow.
Just checking in and seeing how the supply of CO2 is looking.
It's why they're on the phone here twice a day to check on deliveries.
Yes, we definitely got you covered for the CO2.
A shortage of CO2. Any other concerns?
Yeah, I'm a little worried about what's going on in Ukraine. A lot of grain comes out of Ukraine.
Carbon dioxide is used in beer, but also in water treatment plants, at commercial swimming pools, in soda pop, even by welders. It's mostly a byproduct from the manufacture of ethanol and oil. So without CO2, what is this?
Flat beer.
And we don't like that in America.
We do not like that in America. Definitely not an American taste. It's something more akin to what you'd find in Europe.
If they don't get the carbon dioxide soon, brewers will be over a barrel.
A bus driver went the extra mile to help a toddler. Coming up on Newswatch 12, what she did while finishing up her bus route.
Don't fall for clickbait, fall for cluckbait. Buy one, get one for $1 when you order in the app. Only at Hardee's.
Rebecca Clayfish. She's the ultimate Madison insider. Clayfish went to China to sell out Wisconsin workers. Back home, Clayfish took big money from lobbyists and then went to work for one, working for special interests backing amnesty for illegal immigrants. Pro-China, pro-amnesty. No wonder Clayfish refused to support Donald Trump. Rebecca Clayfish, the pro-China, pro-amnesty, anti-Trump politician. She's the ultimate Madison insider.
Velco Factory Direct. What does that mean? It means no middleman, no overpriced, underperforming windows. Factory Direct means getting what you want, when you want, without breaking the bank. It means when you buy one window, you'll get one free. Yes, free. It means quality craftsmanship, custom designs, and a lifetime warranty. Most importantly, it means a team of window professionals dedicated to one thing above all, your delight. Buy one window, get one free. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
With the right tools and a little hard work, you can do it yourself. And with the right kind of paint, you can finish the job faster. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains exceeds your expectations with products that can cover your walls in one coat. So instead of another coat of paint, you can finally get outside. One coat paint means time better spent. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains, exclusively at Menards.
At Mole Lake Casino and Lodge, get great deals at check-in.
Thank you very much.
Great deals at the Players Club. Great times in the lounge with your friends when you're ready to party. And specials all week long at the Cafe Newman, like our Friday night Fit for a King fish fry.
It's great to be the king.
Mole Lake Casino and Lodge, where everyone is treated like a king.
Don't fall for clickbait, fall for Cluckbait with a doubly delicious chicken deal only at Hardee's.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Stone Innovations, Rhinelander, and Plover.
Southern California is mourning the death of Vince Scully. Fans of the Hall of Fame baseball announcer brought flowers and mementos to Scully's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Scully was a fixture in Southern California. He was a broadcaster for the Dodgers since the team's arrival in Los Angeles in 1958. Mercer, Wisconsin calls itself the Loon Capital of the World. It's a title that brings plenty of tourism. All day Wednesday, the city welcomed thousands to their Loon Day Arts and Crafts show. One of the popular stops as visitors walk the streets downtown is the world-famous loon calling competition. They had people gathering in different age groups, and people from all over were able to go on stage and give their best call of the iconic bird. This year's event was a major success. Tune into our 6 p.m. news for more. A bus driver in Green Bay, Wisconsin went beyond the call of duty Tuesday to help a little boy in need. With her keen eye, the driver quickly saw the toddler was alone. She took him into the bus and called authorities. The kind act was recorded on surveillance video. Casey Torres has more.
It's more than just eyes on the road. Green Bay Metro Transit bus operators have public safety in mind.
Operators are trained to be very observant and aware of all their surroundings, so a lot goes into it when they're moving down the road.
That training kicked into high gear for one driver last Tuesday when a little boy ran across the street on the corner of Kingston Terrace and Princeton Place in Bellevue. A busy street just 1 block away in the direction he is heading.
The bus driver was finishing up one of her final routes for the night at this bus stop. When she spotted the toddler walking all alone, she didn't hesitate to help.
In this video, you see the driver, who declined an on-camera interview, bringing the boy into the bus around 6:30 p.m.
We're going to find your mom and dad, okay? See if we can find out where they went. Did you wander away from the house? Yeah. Do you live here? Are you in the apartment?
She continues asking questions and reassures the boy they'll find mom and dad. This goes on for about 10 minutes until law enforcement shows up.
Hey, buddy. How are you? He doesn't seem to know a whole lot. He was just standing in the middle of the road here.
The Brown County Sheriff's Office tells Action 2 News the boy was reunited with his mom. Green Bay Metro Transit's operations supervisor, Jake Liptow, is proud of the driver and says it's what they do.
It just goes to show the great job that the drivers do in utilizing that training, being observant, aware of their surroundings, and always willing to help out in any way that we can.
Hey friends, Bella Friday here, and I am joined by Brian Gottlieb today from Jacuzzi Bath Remodel. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Bella.
So tell me, what are some of the most common reasons that people are updating their bath today?
It's really 2 reasons. Sometimes it's just for beauty. Maybe they have a tub that's really hard to clean, it's fiberglass, or stuck in the 70s, it's salmon, or it's blue. But a whole other reason is for safety. Some people have a tough time stepping over their bathtub and really can't take a shower safely, and that's a real important reason to change it.
And what makes the Jacuzzi shower system so special?
So Jacuzzi's been around for over 60 years, and if you've ever interacted with a Jacuzzi brand product, you know they know how to make water feel really good. So imagine a whole line of showers and baths with that same experience. And Jacuzzi's brought beautiful colors and textures and hardware choices, and everything's done in a day, and it's just a lovely shower system.
And how does someone choose the right Jacuzzi shower for their home?
Somebody from Team Jacuzzi Bath Remodel will come to your home. All the shopping happens at home. It's nice and convenient. And they'll bring all kinds of wall samples with them. They'll bring all the choices that you want to make so you can actually put it into your bathroom and see what it's going to look like. They even design it on an iPad so you can see what your bathroom will look like when it's finished. It's a great experience.
Yeah, it really sounds like an amazing experience. And you only use employees, you don't use subs.
We do. Yeah, we think that's just a better customer experience. So if we say we're going to be at your home at 7:30 on a Tuesday, we're going to show up because they're employees and we get to control the schedule.
Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has some very exciting offers. Take a look.
Trade in that old, tired bath for a brand new 2022 model. Have a bathroom that's outdated, cracked, or just plain ugly? We'll take your old model and design a brand new bath or shower of your dreams. Call now and we'll give you 50% off installation, postpone payments for 12 full months, and make monthly payments affordable to your budget. Call 1-800-Tundraland or visit Tundraland.com today.
And my economic plan is moving this country in a better direction.
What planet is he living on? Record gas prices, 40-year high inflation, costing families $5,000 more for their necessities. Sorry, Joe, that's the wrong direction. Here on planet Earth, Senator Johnson voted against Biden's massive deficit spending that sparked inflation, and he passed tax cuts to help Wisconsin families survive the economic turmoil caused by Democrats.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
I don't know about you, Jeff, but I slept like a baby last night with those storms, but...
You know, not everybody did.
Not everyone did.
Those things were loud, right?
They were.
2 rounds of them came through last night. One around 11 o'clock, one around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So lots of people a little bit in need of some coffee today because not much sleep last night. But those are now gone, right? Well,
Grateful for that.
Yeah, it's so nice out there right now.
Yeah.
It's still hot. However, cooler, drier air is on the way, less humid too. In fact, look at these temperatures right now across eastern Wisconsin. Still lots of 80s and even a couple 90s there, but off to the west, those are refreshing 70s are on the way for us for tomorrow. We may touch 80 tomorrow, but much of tomorrow we spent in the 70s. And then really a nice day for us on Friday as well. So a very nice stretch of weather unfolding. The cloud cover has pushed off into parts of Michigan. They're getting lots of rain there and some severe weather near Detroit, also over near Cleveland. But they can have it. We had ours last night. Back to the west of us, there's a little bit of instability there. The air mass coming in right now is very cold above our heads, so that could give us a couple clouds tonight. Overall, though, it should be mostly clear skies tonight. And then looking ahead, look what happens here, right? So 80 tomorrow, meaning much of tomorrow spent in the 70s. That's refreshing. Friday, 84. Saturday and Sunday, not an all-day rain. Don't cancel your weekend plans. Just know a couple thunder showers will be in the area this afternoon into Sunday morning.
Definitely if you have the day off Friday, it's a good day to go out and enjoy the weather.
Yeah, Friday for sure, 84 and sunny.